Yes. She's working. Going through my roles class. Be all class. She does. When I was like before you when I first get involved, you know, about get your until somebody clicked something on the call. What was the 800? They told us it's not possible. That's crazy. It's got something else. So after I see her, I thought about it. I'm not doing it. He's not supposed to. Who said it? Oh, yeah. And it's just like, I'll just try to set all these tongues to your body. It's all days. It works like, she's like, telling you she's not accurate. That was spot. That is like, the podcast, the one that is not authorized to work on it. They're working on it, but she's like, man, that's the case. We had to scan all this stuff here. Yeah, so anyway, I'm not impressed. Yeah, yeah. They come through, yeah.
Brandon, that's 100 days.
100?
Yeah, 100 days.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get to the next 5.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll let you know. Hey, as long as this question. Hey, you get a bill? Just you. Thanks, sir.
I have not seen them. Oh, I wanted some, but I didn't.
Where's your glasses at? You don't know.
I don't have this.
You know where the other ones yet?
No, I ain't gonna bring them in.
I was hoping you would.
Yeah.
We need you all we can. Yep, that's the same pictures I took.
All right, y'all ready? Yes, sir. Would you please stand? I've asked Commissioner Barton to lead us in our opening prayer this morning.
Dear God, I thank you for this day and thank you for the much needed rain that we all received and just please just watch over us and protect us and protect this county and protect this country with everything that's going on in the world today. And just help us make some sound decisions on the county and just be with us and have us safe travels as we leave here to our next destination. And I pray all this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge to the American flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pledge to the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. You may be seated. I'll announce that I'll call the meeting to order. We have a quorum. All the commissioners and myself are present. I would like to remind everyone to silence your cell phones at this time. And next we will move on to general announcements. That would be you, Susie.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Rich is here to talk about our newest project for the Van Zandt County Historical Commission. I'm Susie Bass. I'm with the Van Zandt County Historical Commission. And we have been working in conjunction with a lot of partners on the History Detectives of Van Zandt County, which is a countywide scavenger hunt that's based on history. So it's for people of all ages. We have sort of a time limit on it for anybody that wants to participate for becoming top detective and all that. And it goes from May 15th until July 31st, but it can be done at any time. This is something that we're doing that brings people together, gets them out in the county to go to the different historic places. And by the way, Van Zandt County has 12 different historical museums. I bet not a lot of people understand that there are 12 different historic museums in Van Zandt County. And we also have a lot of historic places. And one of the historic places is right here in the courthouse. So the Van Zandt County Courthouse is part of this booklet. And we're gonna, talk to the deputies outside that are guarding the doors and have them ready to help the kids or adults that are doing this project. But what happens is people take our booklet, which has a section for all kinds of different historic places and museums. They answer questions, and when they get to the end, if they get the questions right, there are places that, places like this where they can get a star from, say, the deputies or the head of the library, and it goes on a bingo card. And if you fill it all up, you're the top detective, or you're just really knowledgeable about Van Zandt County history. So at the end of the summer, we see who's done the best. And if people want to do it just on their own time for the rest of the year or whenever, these questions don't expire, because this is all about history. And there are a lot of really neat things in Van Zandt County to see, like the dipping vat. And nobody knows probably, or a lot of people don't know, that we've got an old dipping vat from the early 1900s, where cows used to be pushed into a vat of creosote. And we have several old cabins, that we're telling, directing kids if they want to go to an old log cabin.
You've got to tell them why they were pushed into a dipping vat, what the purpose is for, okay?
No, it was to cure tick fever. And that is in here, that this is to cure tick fever, and it worked. So we've done.
Chris Oak, if it was Chris Oak, it worked.
Yeah.
So we've already got question 37.
Yeah.
Answer. You got to answer to that one. All right.
So anyway, but I wanted to give each of y'all a copy.
Thank you.
We've printed up a lot of copies. They are free for anyone who wants to pick them up.
Thank you.
We have them in a lot of locations, mainly the county libraries. There are 4 county libraries: Bransley, Van, Canton and the genealogy library. So they're, you can pick them up there, but there's also different.
There's some in the courthouse too, right? The front desk courthouse, yeah.
There are some businesses, they are at all the library, museums that are participating, so. You can get them in a lot of places, or people can, get hold of us, get emails or whatever, and we're really grateful though. To the cooperation of the museums. And the libraries have been super cooperative and very nice about, helping us with questions and. Participating and helping us make copies. And also, we couldn't do this without our sponsors. And the sponsors are listed in, and some of them have, pretty big acknowledgements. We had a lot of really good support from various sponsors, businesses and individuals and associations, so it's been a really good project, and we think it's gonna be good to get people out learning about history. And we have a poster. And we were wondering, this is our poster that we developed, we're doing a smaller one that we're posting at different places to get people knowledgeable and interested in. About what's going on, what we're doing with this project, and we wondered, is there a place we can hang this here in the courthouse, or
Sure.
I don't know if that's appropriate, whether you do that.
We'll find an appropriate place for it. If you have a smaller size one, we'll put it on the front door.
That'd be great, yeah, we have a small one. We have all kinds of advertising options, anyway, but we're promoting this a lot on our social media, and we encourage anybody that see it, if you participate in this, and like us and repost your stuff on VZC Museums Facebook page, because that's the one that we have for all the museums. And we hope it will be a success, and thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you, Suzie. Appreciate that. All right, are there any other general announcements? Okay, if not, we'll move on to public comments, and just one. Okay, Mr. Horowitz, would you like to?
Great.
Your 3 or 5 minutes.
Great, Steve Horowitz, Brian Saline. Thanks for putting number 11 on the docket. It's been a long time coming. And I hope you decide to go ahead and publish the binders. I know it will give Anthony a lot of work. If you do, I hope you go ahead. You already have the binders redacted for this year. So all you have to do is go ahead and post them. Really no additional work. So it would be great to see that happen next day or so. And I hope you decide to publish the binders because and actually do a little bit of education for people. Because I know for me, 2020 was a wake up call. I really didn't know anything about civics. And as I started to learn, wow, there is really a lot to learn. And now I feel like 6 years later, I first know enough to ask the right questions. I certainly don't know everything there is to know about civics in the state of Texas, but that binder is key for us as the public to understand exactly what each of these agenda items mean. Give you an example, unfortunately, I requested the last meeting and there's a lot of stuff that was not on there. So I'm thinking about making a public information request for the items that were not included on the binder. So I'd like to see the binder be complete. And it would be great to publish that 2 days before so we can ask the right questions and be here to follow up on everything that y'all are doing. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you for putting that on the agenda.
You bet. All right. Next, we will move to item number 4, discuss, consider a resolution approving the formation of and participation in a sub-regional planning commission with Smith County pursuant to Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 391. And I need to, Smith County met yesterday in their commissioner court meeting and to pass a similar resolution, and they ended up tabling it. And I highly recommend that you go out and watch the discussions, because the commissioners came up with a lot of very interesting and detailed questions that need to be asked before the decision's made to move into it. And a lot of it has to deal with, okay, how is it going to operate? Because once you set up a 391, once that organization is in place, you no longer have the resources of the counties involved to help you with the legal resources or whatnot. You're on your own. And so you got to figure out also how you're going to fund the 391 in that regard. So those are some of the things. There's a question about liability of the commissioners that are part of that. And so they tabled it, and I am going to recommend that we table it also until those questions are answered and they have made the decision to move forward with it. So is there any further discussion? All right. Is there a motion to table item number 4 and item number 5? Table it to June the 2nd. Well, actually, the Smith County tabled theirs. They're going to bring it back up on June 2nd. That's 2 weeks from now. And our motion should be to table ours to June the 3rd, which would be the day after at our next Commissioner Court meeting. So Commissioner Curtis has made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion?
You know, the 391 is a tool that's used not against public companies, not against private companies, but it's a tool by which the counties that join together in this sub-regional planning group can obtain information from state and other local agencies for regional planning, dealing with water, transportation. So the concern that we would be sued, who are we going to be sued by? We're going to be sued by Rains County. We're going to be sued by Henderson County. You know, it seems a little disjointed. Perhaps the 391 may not have been explained thoroughly or properly. It's for sub-regional planning. Who would file suit against us because we want to be careful about our water, or how we plan for electric growth, or how we plan for subdivisions? What money is going to be necessary associated with these issues? It seems a little strange, but nonetheless, our decision to move forward with the 391 was made a year and a couple of months ago. We believe, Van Zandt County believes, that it's necessary for us to join with others, because with a common voice among several different counties, you have the opportunity to have a louder voice. And we believe that planning, you know, Van Zandt County's done some very incredible things over the last year and a half. And we have the potential to do more, but we need for those folks that are out there in our area, in our East Texas Council of Governments area, to truly understand what it is that we're trying to accomplish with the 391. And then that'll give them the opportunity to come alongside of us and us partner with them and move forward into a more cogent reasoning for what we are trying to accomplish. And we're not just 13 different counties moving in our own individual ways. So that's my thoughts. I have no problem tabling this. We have to table. We've already committed as a commissioner's court to participate in the 391. If Smith County provides us back with a document that we can't really agree with on how we join this together, then we won't participate in it. And that's why we're putting this on our agenda. It's not because we are not in a 391 there is no 391 at this point.
That's right.
Nobody else will participate. So that's what this vote here is about. And I just wanted to, there are people that asked me about it this last week. What's this? So I wanted to just bring that, hopefully that provided some clarity to this particular issue.
And the reason it's on our agenda is because we have to post 5 days in advance, just pretty much. And we didn't know what the decision was going to be with Smith County. So that's why it's on here. And so now that we know, we're just gonna move it to June the 3rd. So
We voted in a resolution over a year ago, right?
That is
To
correct.
join one if one were available. It's not available right now.
right. Well, it's available. We
don't have a partner to join.
We don't have a partner to join, correct. We actually moved forward with Rains County right after we passed that resolution, but then there was a change in their leadership, and so we had to back off because they weren't prepared to perform a 391 at that point in time.
So does a 391, like for instance, how it will play out, just to make sure that I'm clear on it. 391 could ask, say, TCEQ to do an impact study if a data center were to come in on our water supply. Could they do something like that? I mean, would it be like that?
You can ask a lot of questions. The issue is, will you get answers?
And that's where the money could come in, where somebody's suing somebody. If TCEQ won't play ball with us, or Highway Department won't play ball with us, then the 391 may want to file suit against TCEQ or one of these other state or local agencies in order to obtain that information. So it's not completely unrealistic to say, how are you going to fund this thing? But I mean, I think saying how are you going to fund this thing is akin to saying, what kind of guns are we going to have, when we go to war? Well, why are we going to go to war? Are we anticipating, using this as a cudgel to bang people in the state over the head with, or do we really want to regionally plan for our water and electric and, some of these things? So.
Okay.
So, all right, motion has been made. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, like sign. All right, motion passes to table item 4 and 5 until June the 3rd. Item number 6, discuss and consider authorizing county to terminate tower lease with Titan Towers LP for tower used for VHF communications. And I want to we're going to be discussing at the same time item number 7, which is a tower lease with Crossroads Communications for towers used for VH communications. These were tower leases that the county signed. Well, one that I know of is in 2009, but basically they're almost 20 years old. And these were for VHF antennas that are on towers. And one is in Athens and one is in Wills Point. And it was to allow us to communicate with other counties and with certain departments. And back then, when this was all done, VHF was the standard method of communication for public service. Okay, well, since that time, we have now implemented our own, it's called a P25. It's a digital radio service. An analogy I like to use is VHF is like an AM radio, and P25 is like an FM radio. It's what Steely Dan says, no static at all. Okay, and so now we are now on our P25 radio system, and have been for at least a number of months. We were running both the VHF and the P25 at the same time on the same system. Well, we've since cut off the VHF, and we're no longer broadcasting in VHF. And so there is no need for us to have these antennas or these tower sites, and it would save us. And I've already contacted both companies and notified them and made sure. And so what we would end up doing is giving them a 90-day notice that we were going to terminate the contract. One of them is $600 a month. The other one's $400 a month. So that's a savings of $1,000 a month for that. To help. So that kind of gives you a background of that. So is there a motion that to authorize the county to terminate our tower leases with Titan Towers LP and for Crossroads Communications?
You can have them both together.
We can do it separately if you like. Would that make it easier on you?
Yeah, for the moment.
Can I ask one question here? When I'm reading this, and perhaps I just misunderstood what you were saying. Number 6 is to terminate the tower lease with Titan Towers, and number 7 is to terminate the tower lease with Crossroad Communication.
Correct?
Okay.
Yes, there's two different towers. One is in Wells Point, which is not far from the tower we built.
Okay.
And the other one is down in Athens, close to the loop. So,
Okay.
two different leases.
So if the P25 goes down, can the VHF continue to work? Is this like we're paying $1,000 now for basically an insurance policy?
Well, and a lot of people have asked that we needed to keep it for backup. The issue is we did not purchase radios that are dual band. It's called dual band. It will do both P25 and VHF. So virtually all of the radios in the county are only P25 and cannot do VHF. So it wouldn't make sense to keep it as a backup and plus in that regard. So that was just the design decision back when it initially went out to it. And this is
We didn't have a
You got anything,
backup
Jeremy?
for VHS.
So just for clarification, when you say the P25 system going down, the P25 system that we constructed is what they call a simulcast system. So it's gonna take more than just one site going down, where the VHF repeaters, if that site goes down, we lose the coverage in that portion of the county. The P25 system, if one site goes down, we still have coverage. And the way that this towers are built, they provide overlapping coverage. So you don't just lose that whole site, you still have a system call. So essentially, when we switched over to this P25 system, you recall back in September, I spoke about one of our deputies being assaulted, and she was trying to talk on the Edom Tower, which is there in the east, and that tower was down. We had no way of knowing that tower was down. So she was not able to communicate effectively and get the help that she needed. With the P25 system, she would still be able to get, if one tower was down, she would still be able to get out and get coverage. Can I help clarify?
Can I first introduce, this is Jeremy Jones, and he is pretty much the head. He is the mastermind right now behind the system and has done an incredible job
Team effort.
making it work.
I want to comment on the radios too, and it surprised me about it. I had to go to Fort Worth the other day, and I was downtown Dallas, and on a unit that's in one of our trucks, and was talking back to Edgewood they were on a mobile.
Yeah.
And I was downtown Dallas.
Yeah.
They were on a handheld, and I was in the truck, and we were talking just like we're sitting right here.
Yeah, it's
It's incredible.
You know, I've been into Commerce, I gotten coverage. In Tyler, you got coverage. You just don't get coverage at the Van Zandt County line.
Plans everything, and we are in the process of, as you know, we're building the 6th site there in Van, or considering the 6th site. I think it's been approved, and there's still some logistics in play, but the coverage hopefully has exceeded anything far beyond. VHF, it's penetrating, and the coverage that L3 Harris is providing they're doing a good job. So to answer your question, VHF is not obsolete. It's still being used. The issue is that when we went into this project, when I came on in July of 2022, 23, sorry, is that we were going to retain the VHF with the understanding that it would be used for interoperability for Rains and Wood County. Since we have built our P25 system, we have learned that Rains County is now switching over to 7800 P25 as well, onto the text one system. And Wood County, we've not heard anything yet, but they have purchased radios to be able to talk and communicate with the surrounding 7800 P25 systems.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm not a radio guy, but that's what we have y'all for. And, you know, if this is y'all's opinion, the people who run the system is what we should do if it's a community effort. If that's what you think we do, should do that. We rely on that, but I was making sure, you know, that y'all agreed to.
As Sid mentioned, the radios that we decided to purchase as the county, you know, the assets, they were not dual band radios, which dual band will do VHF and 7,800. They are single band, so meaning they only do the 7,800 band. And they won't talk on VHF, so that would require 2 radios in every vehicle in the county to be able to utilize the VHF signal. There are some still vehicles, but I know as the sheriff is, and I don't want to talk on the sheriff's behalf, but as new vehicles are being purchased, he is only installing, and I think he took advantage of the contract pricing for the radios, and purchased 6 mobile radios, single band that would talk on the new system. So going forward, I don't think there's any plan to purchase VHF radios. Now, it might be if I do have a dual band, I think there's 3 dual bands in the county. So that we can test the VHF system. We both as helping Vicky out as in the EOC. I'm also an amateur radio operator, so I can talk to storm spotters and things that would be able to utilize the VHF band. So.
And the reason why we didn't purchase dual band radios is because it was an additional $500 to $1,000 per radio.
Per band. So.
And so we chose not to purchase it because of that. And at this moment, there's over 600 radios registered on our system.
Yes.
So now, not all of those are county radios because the fire department, some of the ESDs and whatnot have purchased their own radios, but.
Well, say it's.
Right. Okay.
This as well.
All right, is there a motion to terminate the tower lease with Titan Towers, LP?
I'll make a motion to terminate the lease.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion passes. Item 7, discuss authorizing county to terminate tower lease with Crossroads Communication for a tower used in VHF communications. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion passes. Item number 8, discuss consider pager service renewal with mobile communication services for 2026-2027. We have had a mobile service, pager service with Mr. David English for I don't know how many years. It's at least 10, maybe 15 years. And he has been very accommodating to the county and never changed the pricing for the service. But it's running us about $14,000 a year. And these pagers are used by the volunteer firefighters. And what happens is the dispatch center will send out a notice that will go to the pagers and turn and notify them of an impending call in that regard. However, this paging service is antiquated, and no one can tell me how many people are actually using it. It's not. We don't know what service is being used or how many firefighters are out there using it, and I do know that some are using it, and so. And what I was told was some of these firefighters who don't have the cell service that they have is not good. And so whenever they're in an area where the cell service is bad, the pager will go off, to help them know to go. And that's kind of what we're using it for now. But it's going to be my recommendation that we go ahead and renew for this year for the $14,000 or $13,900 and something dollars, and get with the volunteer with all the fire departments, and again we'll with a fire chiefs meeting kind of come up with a plan on how to address this. And there are other features. What is I'm responding? I think is a mobile service that is also used at the same time. That goes to people's cell phones, but again, it's cell phone technology is not always that reliable, and that's why it's a backup, but it gives us a year to go ahead and come up with a solution for the firefighters on how to notify them of calls. So is there a motion to renew the pager service with mobile communication services for 2026, 2027?
I'll motion.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion passes. Item number 9, discuss, consider authorizing the county judge to sign a lease agreement with Texas Cellnet for the use of the Precinct 1 tower, radio tower. So in several commissioner court meetings, we had a contract with Texas Cellnet to lease space on their tower in Van. And that's part of the 6th tower site that Jeremy was talking about. And so in part of this, what we agreed to do, that was for $1,500 a month. And we came up with an agreement with Texas Cellnet that they would be able to use our tower in Grand Saline, its Precinct 1 tower, for their cellular or for their internet service communications. And so this lease is almost identical to what the one we signed with them. And it's $1,500 a month, and it's for 1 year with a 1-year renewal, I believe, or month to month after that. I don't remember the specifics right now because I'm dealing with several leases. But anyway, it just basically offsets what our cost is going to be for the tower that we're leasing from them. So, and they're very amicable about it. They've already discussed, how they're going to mount their equipment, and there's room on the tower for that. And again, to remind everybody, we spent $3 million on tower sites. We built 4 of them, and we built them with the intention of leasing out space on them when it's available, when people have the need to do that. And all of them have that potential. And so this is our first one that we're able to do that with. So is there a motion to sign the lease agreement with Texas Cellnet for the use of the Precinct 1 tower, radio tower?
But it's just an even swap, pretty much.
Pretty much, yes.
There's a lot. Okay. I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
Mr. Curtis, okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion passes. All right, item number 10, discuss, consider interlocal agreement with the City of Van regarding collaborative road maintenance during fiscal year 2027.
Yes, this is mine. So I've been talking with the mayor and the city manager of Van, Ernie and Ernie Burns and Jeff Hutchins for probably 6 or 7 months now. And I had a meeting with them, and the City of Van residents do pay the 10-cent road tax, and it comes up to about $280,000 a year. And we have decided that the road and bridge maintenance, we came to agreement that Precinct 4 road will do 1 road a year in the city to help them, a non-curb and we're not going to do curb and girder roads, just the basic asphalt roads. And in my opinion, they do pay the 10-cent tax, and I do represent them, and they are a government entity. And this is a way that, we can help them in the community. And, the cities and the counties, seems like we're always fighting, and it's always about money, but we are there to help all the people. So we do need to work together. And I think we've gotten a good compromise. And I've said it before, I've got a 12-year plan on the roads to get them all seal coated in the precinct. And I've done the numbers, and by doing 1 road a year in the city of Van does not affect the county roads at all in my budget. So I think it's a win-win situation for the county and the city, that we can all help each other out. And I would make a motion to pass this interlocal agreement with the city of Van on the roads.
So as attorney,
Yes, Tony has gone over the interlocal agreement. I've had it all reviewed. Everything's good. I've gone through all the hoops
Mhm.
to make sure everything's legal. Am I correct, Tony?
Yeah, there, well, I went back over it this morning, and there is one thing in there that I forgot right now. If there's an issue regarding dispute as in other words, if you submit a bill to them and they are disputing with that, how is that gonna be resolved? Any, there's some language in there on how that's gonna be resolved, but that's the only part. So I'm sorry, there's another one also. But other than that, it's one minor one, and then the resolving of, if there's a dispute, you say it's $50, they say no, it's only 25. How's that gonna get resolved?
So I need to retract the motion to say I'll motion with I want to make the motion to
With
agree with agree with going in a local agreement with the city of Van
With modifications.
with modifications
By the,
by
attorney.
the two attorneys.
So it's legal, it's gonna be legal for us to spend $100,000 of our budget.
There's no money involved in this, and you cannot look at it by money. They spend $280,000 in Tenth road tax. I'm not even looking
Okay,
at
so
money.
let's,
I'm
let's
looking at
take
the
that,
road.
let's off of it, not the sum total. You're gonna be able to spend some of your budget money in the city. Is that what you're asking for?
Yes. And the way that is the city is a government entity, whereas you take Calendar Lake and Hickory Hills, they're HOAs. It's a totally different ballgame. You can't do it with those, but you can do it within a government entity.
And we actually already have agreements, interlocal agreements with most of the other cities, Edgewood, Fruitvale, and several others in that regard.
Yeah, but we're not spending our budget on there. We're spending our labor and maybe our fuel,
Right.
but we've never crossed the line of spending our budget.
I'm
I'm not saying I'm opposed to that. I'm
Right.
saying it opens up a whole.
I guess the way to answer that, it seems like it's a problem, and I imagine this is a problem everywhere. But all the cities and counties do is fight, and it's all about money. And somehow we got to figure out how to work with each other and help everybody out. And I think this is a step in my precinct with the city of Van.
So, and you're talking about one road, is there a specified length?
No,
Road?
it may be a quarter mile this year. Next year, it may be a mile.
Mhm.
I mean, there's no specific one road
Okay.
that's
Just
not curbed and gutter.
whatever.
Yes, and if you go into the city of Van, there's not very many. I mean, I don't know what the longest county road, or not the longest asphalt road in the city is, but I bet a half a mile is probably the longest one we
I
got.
can tell you that they spent $70,000 on 3/10 the other day, just as an overlay.
Yep. Well, I've done it in my budget, and I've calculated it, and it's not gonna affect my plan at all. I still will have, if I'm in office, I'll still
Are
have.
there any other cities in your
No,
precinct?
that's the only city I have.
Okay.
So I take that back. The city of Edom, but they don't have any roads. But Edom and Van are the only two incorporated areas that I have in my precinct.
So Edom is considered a town or a city,
Edom is
Yeah,
an
they're
incorporated area.
and you already take care of their roads?
Yeah, there is no, they don't have any roads.
I understand. I'm just asking you
Yes, I
questions
do, yes.
as illumination.
Yes,
So you're gonna basically do in Van, basically what you're doing in
yes.
Edom.
Mhm.
With that, but you don't have an interlocal agreement because
Because Edom doesn't have any, there's no road there besides 279. The rest of them are county roads.
State out.
Yeah, there's no county roads in the city of Edom. Or there's,
How does that work? How does that, if they're incorporated, how does that work? How do we keep county roads inside of city limits? How does
there's
that work?
no named streets in the city of Edom.
So when Fruitvale incorporated, immediately there were signs put up that says county maintenance ends here.
Yep.
How did that happen?
It's on 279 is the only thing that goes through Edom. And I don't know where the boundaries are in Edom, but you get outside of those boundaries, it's Van Zandt County
There has to
Road.
be
They're all
one.
county roads.
Doesn't it have to be some?
And 314 goes through there. 314, 279, and 2.
And the others are city.
But there are none in Edom.
Well, I'd be interested in hearing from Ernie. He may not want you messing around with his roads.
What do you want to hear from me?
Is this agreement that you're in favor of?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we must trust, honestly. And I think we've come to a fair agreement that will work for both of us. I mean, we're not gonna get our total amount, and we're not asking for money, obviously. You know, we're just asking for a little help. And I think this is gonna work for both of us, and we do appreciate it, even considering this, because it is gonna help us in the long run. It's gonna really, and if you gotta understand, our total budget for roads is 100,000 right now. And we had to go minus one guy in our water department to get to 100,000. I mean, you know, it's tight for us.
And what's your population?
Right, about 2,800.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is not repairing roads, repairing potholes like we do out in the county. It's overlaying a road.
Yeah,
They're responsible for the maintenance of it.
yeah. And we want to thank Mitch here. He helped us about a week or two ago. We provided the materials, he done the work, and we want to publicly thank him for that. We did it at our council meeting, and we want. So I think we're getting a good working relationship. Something we probably haven't had in a long time, but it's a good working relationship with the county. You know, and that we need to have that. We need to be working together, and I think we are working together.
Do you think I'm just in my concerns of opening this up? Like, I have 3 cities in my precinct. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you spent.
Yeah, you already have an interlocal agreement.
I know, but we don't spend our budget, our material budget on it. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it opens a whole different. There's no perimeter, there's no perimeters on it. Like, if there's a whole lot of things that the county doesn't have right now as far as road processes. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we don't have a baseline of how we do anything right now.
Right.
So what is your baseline? You just want to overlay? I mean, like, when it comes down to it, you can say, I want 5 inches of overlay on a city street. That's $100,000. If I did that for every city in mine, that's $300,000 of my $1.3 million budget.
Right.
Well,
I understand this, and we have individual autonomy in our precincts, I guess. So I'm just
That's
saying.
what it is. The agreement does not specify exactly how much or what it is. That is between the commissioner and city manager
Yeah.
And you may
to make that decision.
Yeah.
want to do a different one with them. I mean, because when we started talking, Arnie didn't get everything he wanted. I didn't get everything I wanted. I mean, we had to.
It's unbelievable, but I didn't.
And I know, I think it's good for the cities and the counties. We have to start working together, and we don't very well, in my opinion.
I think.
And I'm
With you,
Now y'all are disagreeing again.
yeah, we're disagreeing again.
But
Now y'all are disagreeing again.
here's the bottom line. Here's the way it is. We're, like you said, we're not both, neither one of us are gonna get everything. And that's just the way it works in life. You don't get everything you want. Barry, you know that.
But I think the city and the counties need to start helping each other out.
Well.
Okay, I'm through.
Well, I've made the motion with the amendment of,
Yeah,
with the,
motion is made. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, and I have up on the screen Edom. The purple line is show the city limits. There are a couple of county roads in their city limits, 4827 and 4807. Looks like it's in their city limits. Part of it. But as you can see, majority of it is these state highways. Their city limits.
They just walk everywhere, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion passes.
I abstain, not because I'm against it, because I just don't know how I feel about it yet.
Okay.
I'm an abstain.
All right, item number 11, discuss, consider authorizing redacted commissioner court agenda binder to be published online 2 days prior to the commissioner court meeting. This is a result of our discussion, the workshop that we had at our last commissioner court meeting. Where we will put the redacted means we mark out sensitive or private information out of any of the documents that are in our binder. And then we'll publish it 2 days prior to the commissioner court meeting, which generally means on Mondays, when our commissioner court meeting is on Wednesday. So is there a motion?
Yeah, it's not feasible. It's not feasible. We had information coming into our binder this morning. Now, if we can't get our stuff into Keegan, how can she redact it and post it online on Monday? Do we just put a rule in place, Judge, that says if the backup necessary for the binder is not received and on Monday, then that item is removed from the Commissioner's Court consideration for Wednesday and placed 2 weeks further out? I mean, if that's the case, then I'll make the motion right now but I'm not going to put additional work on Keegan to redact the binder when the binder is not provided to her or all the backup material is not provided to her until this morning. Not all. I mean, a good bit of it is already in place, but I mean, some of it's not there.
And that was one of the issues that on why it hasn't been done earlier is
Yeah.
because we don't have a hard deadline on when things have to be turned in for this, which quite honestly gives us flexibility. And I would hate to lose that flexibility. But the question becomes, can we go ahead and do a redacted binder as of Monday, and then any additional items added separately afterward?
Perhaps the commissioner or the department head that's associated with the backup with these particular items has the burden of redacting this themselves.
Okay.
Because quite honestly, I can't see putting another thing on top of folks that work in our office, same as I wouldn't ask Christy to do it, in your office. The burden is substantive. And I think if you're going to have an item on the agenda, it should be that department head's responsibility to redact those things that need to be redacted. And if we have to put out a template of what needs to be redacted, we can do that. I think that would probably be satisfactory. But I don't think that it's possible if we're having things delivered to us for the backup on the morning before or this morning, for example, prior to this meeting.
I think that's a fair statement. I think, I like the idea that we're trying, like there's an effort being put forth to be transparent. The public has asked for it.
It's not unreasonable.
It's not unreasonable what they're asking for. I think what you just said is like, there's some kind of disclaimer. If we get the information that it's too late to get it in the binder, that needs to be.
Well, there's one of the main things that we don't get, we don't have the Friday before is the bill payment, and that's critical. And so the question is, I don't know, the whole process there is the treasurer gets an input and then it goes to the auditor's department. And, what we're saying then is we probably gonna have to move the deadline for when you submit the bills, which right now is 5 days before, right?
A week before.
A week before.
Wednesday before commission.
Right.
And
Has it always been this way? Has it always been that and
because, like you said, you gotta understand, we have to have time to get everything vouched in.
Mhm.
And then the
And
auditor,
once we get it vouched in, then we take it across the hall to the auditor's office. They have to have time. And they got stacks of invoices out they have to go through and approve everything. They have to have a couple of days. And then the commissioners want to see this before commissioner court. So we try to get them an AP register on Monday. over all the bills so that you can look through them in case you wanna take something off, or this is not my bill, or we should have got this, or something like that. It's a
Well,
very long process.
you have done well now that we are getting them on Monday, but for a long
Yes.
time, it wasn't until
Yeah.
Tuesday and sometimes Wednesday morning. And that was because of issues with personnel in your department, personnel in the auditor's department, so.
Pretty much it takes.
But I don't want to state that we're not going to, we're going to reject the bill payment summary because it wasn't turned in on time. I don't want to go that route.
Yeah, that wouldn't be beneficial. to us.
No, that would just mean we have to call another meeting.
Yep.
Is there a way that, how much, is there a fairly substantial amount that needs to be redacted in the bill payment?
The bill payment's not redacted at all. It's yeah, there's nothing to redact in it.
Then it's not really, that's not really what our issue is. It's the work of redaction. If you want to make an exception for the, for the bill payment, I have no problem with that. That it can come in when it comes in, as long as everybody in the public realizes.
All the books, the attorney addresses and judges addresses are there.
Okay, see, I learned something new. I really don't want individual departments doing redacting because it's a pretty specialized process and it's best done by someone who's very familiar with the process.
I think if a department head has risen to the point of, preeminence in this, in their particular area, they should have the capacity to redact the documents. I mean, I don't. Is that unreasonable?
Probably not unreasonable.
I'm not comfortable here placing an additional burden on anybody in the commissioner's court staff with this particular type of expertise.
Well, at the point, yeah, here we go. So like, Bobby and I have taken some load off of her. There's no doubt about that, because we have our own. We both have secretaries at our office. We found out it was very beneficial to have someone in our office, especially when we had the 100-mile-an-hour wind, and we ended up with all that FEMA records and I don't want to put any more on her. I think really the thing that needs to be, one of the things that needs to be communicated today is that we all desire to put that information out. Is that where we're at?
It needs to be out.
Yes, I mean, is
The
that
binder
where
needs
you're
to
at,
be
Brandon?
published.
Like it's,
Yeah, I mean, I see what we're saying.
Bobby,
I guess the question
where you
is,
at? Where you at, Bobby, on it?
I think it needs to be done, but at the same time, I'm with Cliff. And I think I'm with you. I don't want to have to put more on Keegan either. But at the same time, if it falls back on us too, we've got a full load anyway, ourselves too. So if we're the one that has to do it, there comes some more time out of our.
If you give me a template of what needs to be redacted, which I don't put that much on the agenda anyways, but whatever needs to be redacted on out of mine, I can get my secretary probably redacted. If I had a template.
so the question is the stuff that comes in after Monday. And who's gonna, and that's what you want them to do, is that the person who submits anything after the deadline on Monday will have to submit 2 copies. 1 copy for us and 1 copy for the redacted.
Your thoughts?
If someone else does the redaction, I do not want my name attached to it,
Fair.
because if they forget to redact a check number or an account number, and I say, oh, they redacted it, and I send it off, then that's my head. And
Not only that,
No.
you can't be off. You
I
need to be
can't
off
be
on a
off.
Tuesday.
I've asked for a laptop several years in the past to, travel with me, because I have to take my mother to the VA for when she's older. And I can't do that, so we wind up with, like this morning, I was in, an hour beforehand, or I stay a couple hours late after everyone's left to try and get this binder together. I understand that the teachers want this information, but if I'm not given it, or we're going through 5 or 6 revisions the day before, where I'm waiting until 4 PM to get something, I can't do it.
From your perspective, is it reasonable that if they get the binder back up into you by Friday, that you could publish a redacted binder on Monday for whatever you do happen to have? And if it's not provided to you, then they'll have to do an open records request?
Do we need to identify what items are missing?
If there's no backup there, that I think there's nothing wrong with saying that, backup has not yet been provided. We could put that in the binder, just a blank page that says have not been provided, has not been provided.
Do you think that's what the public wants? Like, do you think the public's worried about check numbers, and is that what they're looking for? Like, what do you think they're looking for?
There have been some folks that ask for specific, check numbers or specific expenditures.
Depends on the individual.
Well, it's not, we're not redacting check numbers, we're redacting a bank account numbers
Right,
or account numbers. And
If we could, how many folks in the gallery today are here for item number 11? This binder issues, this redaction provided.
so
I think one of the problems has been so we went into executive session on things sometimes that we shouldn't have went into executive session on. And people want to know why we're going to executive session on topics. That's the thing, I think, where they're.
That's not going to be eliminated in the binder,
Right.
though, I don't think. I think
I don't know
what we've done is now, my recommendation is that Tony or Tonda have to sign off before something's put on executive session. And we haven't had executive session since we started that.
That's right.
So, I agree. I think, and we don't always know what's going to be on the executive session. I come in and I'm like, well, what's on the executive session? But if it goes through Tony or Tonda, somebody in the attorney's office, before it gets put on executive session, then I don't have to recuse myself, in the middle of it saying, I don't think this should be on executive session. When it comes to light.
okay, so back to the binder. So my understanding, what we've come to, is that we were going to go ahead and redact the binder Monday morning with whatever information is there. And that any addition, and then we'll put a page in there that says, items missing or no support documentation submitted for those that don't have anything. And that would be part of the binder. And then if anybody wants that information, they would need to submit a public information request for that. But that way we're only doing the redacting and publishing the binder one time.
You don't think that they may question that as that we're still trying to hide something because we're forcing them to do an open record?
No, because we're telling them it wasn't available at the time that the binder was published, and that you can submit a public information request to get it.
It may be that the reasonable approach there is that if the backup's not in, then can't be voted on. Can't be considered in that meeting,
So there you go back to, when you do that, then it's postponed for 2 more weeks.
Well, to be honest with you, a lot of times I feel like we're voting on things that we need a little bit more time to think about. I think that happens to us sometimes.
Except on my stuff, when mine's all perfectly reasonable.
Most of the time, the reason.
Well, I'm just, if we submit that hard and fast that you don't, if it's not submitted by Friday, then you're looking at having to establish a lot more meeting dates to pick up what didn't get submitted.
I wouldn't necessarily include the bills and the bill payment in that because you guys are working as fast and furiously as you possibly can. That's not my intent. My intent, and I think it's correct, what the other commissioners are saying, that it's not the bill payment that causes everybody a great deal of heartburn. It's some of these other items, but I've been here for a year and a half and I haven't had but maybe three, maybe emails from people saying, I can't be there. Tell me what your thoughts are related to XYZ item that's coming on the agenda. Just doesn't happen. I don't have that many conversations with folks. And I have quarterly meetings. I get out there, I talk to people on the phone every day. So it could be that, but people just don't have that level of concern.
So with that being said, I guess Andy, you put on how many did a lot of people come to you about this, or did just a couple?
Just one person.
One person.
And he's been
Consistent.
it was my intent, and when I took office, to actually have it up online like other counties do. And that's when I ran into the issue of it having to be redacted, and that was not something that I had the time to do.
And I agree with him. It should be done. But it's just like we talk about the growth of this county. The more this county grows, the more work becomes. And we're not hiring anyone else. I mean, it's just, it started here. Now it's this tall of work. And, I don't know if they realize how much goes into it. Do they want it that bad? Do we hire another person? Because we've just been told we've had to ask Keegan, when you've got Kenny, then it goes through all these processes to get this thing done.
How do you feel about it, Kenny? Just leave you alone. Leave me alone.
Well, like I said, it doesn't happen very often. Occasionally, like I said, you should put here. There's proof of what we had to put in there to get to this commissioner's court. We get a lot of bills.
What was that 2 years ago?
It's probably a little less than that, but occasionally we have one that a bill we'll try to get in there. So we kind of, okay, because it just has to go to the commissioner court. But you're talking about one bill, I can't have everybody wait till the last second. It's just not possible. So 99.5% of the bills are already bounced in. You go through the process. Occasionally you'll have someone come in last minute on Friday, say, hey, can we get that in there? It depends. I try not to do that, but occasionally there's one that a lot of money involved and people want to get paid and they don't want to wait 2 weeks, which, we try not to be favorite to anybody. But as a general rule, everything works fine, but every once in a while, they'll have one, I don't know about this one, I don't know about that. But usually it's not that late. Usually I'm gonna say if this is like Friday, okay, we're squeezing in, but don't come to me on Tuesday morning. I said, I hadn't put that in. Normally I say no. So it just, you try to weigh it out. Like I said, most everything is like this. We don't have that many that comes in that late. Right.
Maybe Judge Reese is advocating for changing to weekly meetings.
I have asked the court what their desire is, and the feedback I've gotten is that every other week is better. And actually it's more in regards to the treasurer and the auditor's department, because they don't want to have to be doing the bill payment stuff every week. And that's
what your
really
preference
the
is
difference.
If let's say we meet every other week, and let's say we meet every week, and you don't have to do the full roster, at every meeting, right? You could continue to do it.
What it means is probably, I wouldn't have a mini invoice because,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is what we've got in over the course of 2 weeks.
Right.
So I wouldn't have as many if you're gonna cut, but you're still gonna go through the process. You just wouldn't have.
But I would
wouldn't have to
really,
Get that many well, I probably couldn't get that many in a week.
would it be that big of an impact on your business if we move to a weekly meeting rather than bi-week?
I don't think so.
You want to pray about it and then come back?
You don't have to vote today.
No, we don't have to. We don't
Well,
have to.
Ben, how about you? How is that gonna affect the auditor's office if we went to a weekly?
I don't think it will impact us as so much. I mean, bills come in on a regular basis anyway,
Mhm.
so whatever come in to get addressed. For a whole bunch of them, there is.
Would there be shorter meetings, Judge?
Well.
Or would you put more on it?
Yeah, we
do.
It just seems like the judges are the one
well-
who puts things on last minute.
I don't put them on the last.
I'm just messing with you, Judge.
Okay. But the last three meetings, I put 10 items on. Because again, you see what all we're going through, so, but, I do think that, well, where are we at? We do want to submit a redacted copy on Monday.
Of everything that we have.
Of what we have, and we will just
That's
put
reasonable.
something, we will just put a note in the binder that, the information was not submitted in time to.
I think that's a fair assessment.
When we go back to that, Mitch, you and I both have already heard Keegan say that if we have our secretaries to do it, that she's not
She
okay
wants,
with
yeah,
that.
she wants to be absolved of
So
any
it's
responsibility
gonna,
of it.
it's gonna put more work on her.
You talking about redacting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna pull a Mitch here.
But you,
I doubt it.
that's setting the bar pretty high.
I think we need more time to talk about this and get a plan.
Okay. Just as long as we do it.
all right, so.
I mean, I think we're all in agreement that we want to do it. But it's, how do we go about doing it is the question.
Well, I mean, like, is it possible to cross-train us? Like, cause Keegan does get caught where she can't take off. Is it possible to cross-train Hannah on some of that, or? Like, are we cross-training? I'm sure your department's probably cross-trained, don't they? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I guess Keegan could probably answer that better, but I know, Keegan. You can speak, Keegan, you trained her with what you do, but you can't learn it in a week.
I understand
Takes
that.
time.
But I mean, here for 30 days, I'm not gonna open everything into it to where, you learn by fire hose. And I want you to actually soak in and actually stay with you to where you code the bills right and, we're not giving Kenny a hard time. We're not, constantly in the auditor's office because we took it out of the wrong line or, we let that signature go. I want her to actually learn it and retain it instead of, here you go, have at it. And
so we are cross-training then.
yes,
Well, we probably ought to get Tony to give multiple people lessons on what needs to be redacted and actually he can help us learn how to do our own redaction in Acrobat.
Attorneys don't know nothing.
So
So I've been told.
It's 50-50.
is there a motion to table this?
I'll make a motion table.
Are we sure we don't want to just move forward with like the judge said already? I mean,
I think that's a step in
What
the
we
right
just said,
direction.
and then you had Mitch or Bobby said, or are y'all girls gonna be ready? Can they do it? Do you know that?
are you okay with this? What's your direction?
I would like for us to go ahead and pass it with what we decided and then have a workshop on how to handle the rest.
regardless, I mean, it's part of my job, regardless what you tell me to do, I'm gonna do it. But if someone else touches it, I don't want my name.
Okay.
I'm not gonna pay for somebody else's mistakes. I already have to fix budget amendments, I already have to fix invoices, I have to fix leases, I have to fix interlocal agreements, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry, I'm not sticking my head on the chopping block because somebody else.
So if it's gonna be redacted, you want to do all page 1 to the end. Okay, I didn't want to put that on you unless you are good with it.
Got it? And you're the one that put it up. Do I need to make a copy and you redact it, you put on the thing? It. Whatever y'all want me to do, I will, just.
Well,
I gotta protect myself too.
right.
Why can't we go back to what y'all talked about a while ago, which was whatever is in, whatever you redacted is done. And then whatever is not in there, for example, my minutes are not in there this go round.
Yeah.
Because number one, I mean, we've had a line out the door in our office because we're doing elections right now. And so I wanted the minutes to make sure they got reviewed before we put them in the binder. And so that's not been done, so they're not gonna be in there this go round, which I'm fine with. So there would be a blank sheet in there and somebody can either do an open records request on it. We'll have them in there next meeting or whatever. I'm fine with that. That doesn't put any stress on her, any more stress.
But I guess the question is, if there's no backup, do we?
They can do an open records request.
No, do we pass on that agenda item in the commissioner court?
I think so.
I think we always have the option. I say, I get to number 12 and I say, there's no backup here for this. I make a motion, we pass. I mean, we always have the option to do that. I mean, honestly,
Okay.
What I was saying, could be construed just as complaining earlier. But
Go ahead, Chris, I'm sorry.
but that's now he's made a motion and I know that you're waiting on a second. I was just offering, my 2 cents on this.
I would like to move forward with something. Are you going to
not sure what-
withdraw your motion?
Well,
Motion was to table.
Table.
I'll withdraw my motion to table.
Okay.
I got a quote. So it's like Cliff asked, who is here for the binder? And I do believe we have to get it done. I think we need to get a plan to get it done, but that's what we have public information requests for. How many people are asking for public information requests out of 70,000 people in this county?
Yeah,
Or the binder,
For what we're talking about, for
One person.
one person out of 67,000. So
one that I'm aware of, that I received public information requests for the binder. So,
Judge, you might.
So you take that and, I don't know how to say this, what if you had one person, you had an issue, you had all y'all, each of y'all had different issues, one person. We'd be in a bind. One person's got.
So what are you saying, Brandon? You don't want to do it or you do want to do it?
I do want to do it, but I think we need to have a plan of how to do it and we
Well,
gotta have the resources to do
I
it.
thought that was pretty simple. What comes in on time gets put in the binder. And what doesn't?
I think he's probably speaking more to who's going to do the redaction, what kind of time frame
Yes.
is that typically taken? Because if there's only one person in the county that's after the binder or that's asking for the binder, causing this, I don't want to put it on Tony, but I think we have the ability to charge reasonable costs for items that in open records requests. So
there are provisions within the Public Information Act for charging.
But Mitch, to your point, yes, I do believe everything needs to be in there. It needs to be transparent. But we have to figure out to get the resources and how to do it.
So you're saying we do not have the resources to do it?
No, I don't think we do right now we don't have a process.
How's the city of Van do it? I heard the city of Van's real good at it. No, I really did hear that. I don't know where I saw it at, but
No, well,
They use Civics Plus and they
yes, what
put
we
their
do,
agendas.
and we just put everything out there. And if we ain't, we ain't got it, we don't put it out there, we just put it out there the following month. We don't. I don't see what. And I don't quite understand your stuff here, you're doing here, but I don't understand the problem there, I mean, just put out what you got, and what you don't got, you can't.
put it out the following,
Is that what we're doing now?
Well, I don't think we published the binder at all right now.
Mm.
we publish everything.
Yeah, I don't,
We're just open book.
I just don't think we published the binder at all, and, you know, unless it's for it specifically. And, so you use Civics Plus to redact the binder.
No,
I'm not sure.
I haven't seen anything redacted in there.
Yeah, our city secretary does that, and we just put it out there.
So what Ernie just said, why couldn't we do that? What we have available at whatever date it is, that's redacted or whatever, publish it.
And
If it's there, it's there. And then we have something on the
Well,
agenda that's not in
you
there,
know,
hey, it's gonna be there the next week. It will be there.
And what I found strange was we got a redacted copy of binder once, and it had dots on people's signature. Your signature is on 500 documents a week that are public records that are orders. Why in the world are we dotting out your signature? Anybody who wants your signature can have your signature on any number of documents.
Anybody's signature.
Anybody's signature, honestly.
I just think, here's what I think. I think people just want the information.
Yeah.
They're the best, I think people feel like things are being hidden. They're probably not being hidden. I don't feel like they're being hidden. But they're feeling like they're being hidden because they're not being put out there. Put the information out there, be done with it. And then if whatever can't put out at that time, obviously, if they don't get it in, they don't get the information, you can't put it out there.
Well, I think
But if
that,
you got the
yeah,
information,
I think
put
in
it there.
this particular case, I'd make a motion
Things do so.
to publish the binder that we possess on Mondays with I think we'll get with Tony and determine what limited redaction. I don't think that everything that,
This lines
yeah,
have to be redacted.
yeah, and then and that may reduce the amount of work that you have to do on this. And if we don't have it, if we don't have the backup in the binder, then we don't have to. And if I'm upset about that, then I'll ask that item be passed.
We should have had Ernie talk here 45 minutes ago. We could get this fixed real quick.
Sorry, Ernie. That's my motion.
The motion is to
Second.
publish the binders on Monday of what information is available.
And
I'll
think
second that.
I think that's fair.
All right. Motion is made and seconded, and please don't let there be any more discussion. If not, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, like sign, motion carries. Item number 12, it does consider authorizing the county judge to sign a lease agreement with Emergency Services District Number 3 for facilities located at 24630 State Highway 64, Suite A, for the use by the tax assessor, collector, and fire marshal. This is our East Annex that we sold to ESD3 2 years ago, and we leased it back from them for 2 years. That lease is coming up. It's expiring at the end of July. And this is extending our lease for another year. And it's at $1,750, which is $1 a square foot, for 1 year. And then after 1 year, it goes to a month-to-month basis. And the reason why we need to extend it is because we don't have facilities to move them into at this time.
Have you talked to South Bend, Zandt?
They have already signed the lease agreement.
It was delivered this morning, in fact.
That's $1,750 a month.
I think we can
17.
get a better price than that.
Okay. Well, that is what their committee came up with, which they felt like was a fair and a market rate.
Well, I think Brendan has a really good relationship with those guys over there, and I'd move in whatever direction Commissioner Barton chooses to move.
I would say table this and
Did you read the agreement? Did you read through it? I mean, like all the.
no, I haven't talked
Like
to
at the bottom of it, like all the insurance that we have to carry on employees and all, like there was a whole bunch on there, like $100,000 workman's comp and $1 million liability. I mean, it was.
I think we can get a better price on this.
make your motion.
Motion to table it.
I'd second.
Motion made to table this and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, like sign. Any further discussion? Cliff,
I did.
Seconded.
What have we been paying on that to begin with? What were we paying on?
We were paying nothing.
Yeah, it was nothing for
Okay.
2 years.
It was the
All right.
rent price was taken
Okay,
out of.
yeah, I remember now. Okay.
So, yeah. All right.
And what's the status of the funds that the county got for that purchase?
They're in an account
Waiting until we do
for
something to,
finish out work of another facility or purchase of a facility.
just wanted to make that, I just wanted to make sure.
Did that account get
everybody-
interest?
The account is, yes, they're in account, they're getting interest, but there is no budget item to actually do that for this year.
Right.
So, all right, so that was tabled. Item number 13, discuss and consider approval of Christie's Place subdivision plat located on Van Zandt County Road 1910 in precinct 1.
Yeah, it's just a little simple. One friend gave another friend a piece of property, I think, gave it to her, sold it to her, and she had to go through all this subdivision stuff to get it approved. It's all in order. Like the fire marshal's office, I looked at all of it, signed off, water, electricity, 60-foot right away. So.
Just wanted to clarify, there are exceptions in there that this, never mind.
Well,
I make a
I was trying to get I thought we could give them variance on that.
It's not a, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Uh,
I asked and I was like, it seems simple to me when we have things like this. This is the second one. One guy backed up selling his property. You know, it just doesn't seem like they should have to come through Commissioner's Court for something that's small.
So the person has a large tract of land, he sells a small piece, keeps the rest of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'd make a motion to approve the subdivision.
Second.
All right, motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, motion passes. 14, discuss, consider approval of Edgewood Acres subdivision plat located in Van Zandt County Road 3608 and Van Zandt County Road 3610 in precinct 3.
Yeah, Judge, this is mine and this has been a ongoing deal about the water. And the water department said they had to upgrade the water lines to get water, and then the well, there was a problem with water wells. And this is the third time. We've already give 2 extensions on it. And we personally, Tony and I personally talked to the guy this morning, Chase, and he has withdrawn his application, I guess you could say, for this the subdivision. So I make a motion that we
Table? Or actually, no action?
no, just it's what Tony, what do you call it?
Well, if he's withdrawn, we would,
No action.
yeah, it would,
No action on the plan?
yeah, we don't. Cause it's gonna die on its own.
Right.
You've got your. Oh, okay. So we're gonna deny we're gonna deny the subdivision application.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I make a motion that we deny the subdivision application.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, like sign, motion passes. Item number 15, discuss and consider approval of the Reserve Canton subdivision plat located in Van Zandt County Road 4106 in precinct 4.
This is mine. It's been a long time coming, about 1.5 years. It's tier 1, it's 26 lots. It's a pretty high-end subdivision. They've met all the requirements. Does include in this motion I'm making, it did include a 24-month deadline in motion for the roads and the upgrades, but everything is up to par. They turned everything in, and we did it right, and everything is good. And I don't know if Justin's watching, but I appreciate his cooperation, because we've had to fight about 30 times on the phone. But I motion to approve this subdivision in precinct 4 with the 24-month, that includes the 24-month deadline in the motion for the road and the upgrades.
They have to have the road and upgrades in within 24 months, or this, or what happens to this approval? Just goes away?
It's a good question.
Well, you'd have to take some kind of civil action on them, wouldn't you, if they didn't finish the road?
Tony?
Tony?
They have a bond place where
They do have a bond. No, they have a bond.
You
that point in time, that the county will be able to
call the bond
help.
Yeah.
that.
and do the work.
Is this the one on 4106 that has
Yeah.
the big entrance?
Yeah, I think the minimum house can be up there is like $750,000. That's someone got it's big deal.
Gonna be HOA then?
I don't know if they're gonna make an HOA or not. They didn't. I haven't asked them.
They'd have to, if they have roads, if it's tier 1, they'd have to have an HOA out there, wouldn't they, Tony?
No. Unless they change the
They
law.
don't have- Typically they do, but they don't have to.
Hmm.
If I was assuming, which we know what that does, I'm assuming they're gonna be an HOA, but I do not know that.
If they fill a house, before they have to file it in my office before they sit.
That's right.
Right.
HOA has to be in place before the first lot sold.
Okay. I'll let them know that, but I don't, they haven't said it is or it isn't.
Otherwise,
I'll let them know.
you're telling them that this person who buys a lot, that you're subject to something you have no idea what might.
And I'm sure these developers know that.
Yeah.
They're out of Dodge.
I agree.
They're probably fully aware of that.
I agree.
They have to follow.
It's a bad thing.
Yeah. Needs to have it.
It is a bad thing.
All right,
I made my motion.
I seconded it.
okay, motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, like sign, motion passes. Item number 16, discuss consider approval of budget amendment to increase the auditor's department budget with $4,450 from contingency.
Well, we're running a little short of training funds and comp time. So this motion is to ask for some funds from contingency to get us through the end of the year. Is that my 10 cut?
A lot of your. It should be sitting outside so people can still. Is a lot of this due to the fact that we have difficulties with your computer program and you're having to do extra work related to that?
So,
Yeah.
Well, it's
I'm the over.
fixing all the bank accounts, doing the reconciliations and that hadn't been done for some time.
Yeah. I'd make a motion to approve this budget amendment to increase the auditor department budget with $4,450 from contingency.
All right,
I'll second it.
all right, who wants it?
Bobby can have it.
Okay. Motion been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, like sign, motion passes. Item number 17. Consent agenda or consider items considered routine by Commissioners Court will be enacted in one motion. There will be no separate discussions of these items unless the county judge or commissioner request an item be removed from the consent agenda considered separately. And we do need to remove item A because we didn't get the May 6th minutes in the binder. So is there a motion to approve B through H?
Motion.
All right, is there a second?
Second on B through H.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, motion passes. Item number 18, discuss drainage issues at the Van Zandt County Veterans Memorial. And this is something that Terry Hilliard has been coming to me. I don't know, how long have you been coming to us about it? A year? How long have you been coming, talking about this issue? And what this issue is a drainage issue, and I've got pictures here, at the Van Zandt County Memorial that we need to get assistance with, how to, handle it. And let me get it up here.
which, been associated with the memorial for about 14 years. I'm the current chairman of the board, and with me is Dan Masieri, our treasurer. We've been involved with this issue intensely now for 2 years. When it became apparent that anytime it rained 2 or 3 inches, it flooded behind our building. Initially, we didn't own the building. We bought that building about 6 years ago. RC Anderson. The property that the memorial is on is textile property that has been given to the county to maintain it and put the, that's why we got the memorial there. And at that time, I wasn't there for the initial part of this, but it's my understanding from our former commissioner, Virgil Melton, who and all the commissioners participated in the building of this, bringing in the land, the dirt, and to build it up several feet to put the memorial there. And all the commissioners worked and with the manpower and equipment to do that. Everything worked fine initially. 14 years ago, when I got involved in it, we had these rains, but it would look nothing like that. The dirt has silted in probably around 4 feet. What that is, that's our building. And that's after about a 2.5 inch rain last June. And you can see it doesn't quite touch the building, but it does touch our air conditioners, which are behind the building. It also floods a lift station there of the city of Canton. They had to replace it because it's a low place there. They have to pump the wastewater out. So it's had to be replaced because it gets flooded. This happens 3 or 4 times every year. Every year it's gotten worse. 2 years ago, Dan and I invited Sarah, who's the textile lady out here at the local textile maintenance area, and the engineer that's responsible for this county. They met with us standing right out there. We looked at all this, and they were really reluctant to get involved because this property belongs to the Veterans Memorial. We bought it and it goes all the way up to across that little drainage ditch out there. All of that ditch and everything is our property. It joins the county property. So we talked to Tech Stop. They weren't very encouraging about it, and they did some research on it and notified us that the property line where it was, and I verified that when they from the appraisal district where they showed the actual property line. So that whole ditch is part of our property that we bought 6 years ago. 6 years ago, it wasn't that bad. Last year it was bad, and this year it's already happened. I invited the judge to come out there one day after one of these rains, and he got to personally see what it was doing. Some of you may have been out there too and looked at it. It's only going to get worse. Right now, it's damaging our air conditioning units. If nothing is done, it's going to damage our building, which is a $600,000 building, and the building is occupied by 4 businesses besides us. So it's an emergency situation for us. We began our talk with Textile again a few months ago. They reiterated that wasn't their property, it wasn't their problem. However, there are other pictures in here to show you it's actually about to go over the bridge. The bridge is silted in so much that there's almost no water that goes under it now. It backs up to a lake on both sides of the bridge, and it's undermining the land near the pizza place. We're not sure what else it's doing, but it's a huge amount of water comes through there. And it happens often. TxDOT said they recommended we talk to the city of Canton. So Dan Masieri and Dan Curtis and I had a visit with the city manager. He pulled up all the records of who actually made this agreement back then. And it turns out it wasn't the city. The city's never been involved in it, but the county was. So the county has responsibility for maintaining the entire memorial coming down to our land, and then we own the land. But we found out in all these discussions that the TxDOT has cleaned it out before. Martin Flanagan, who used to be out there, cleaned it out. He had his managed equipment come over and cleaned it out in the past, about 20 years ago, when he first got started. Because it was getting pretty bad then. So he sent his crew in there and they cleaned it out that big, but it's silted up 4 feet since then. And if something's not done this year, next year it's going to flood the building. It's the building and create a huge problem for our organization. When I brought the judge over there to look at it, I mentioned to him, of course, we talked to both our state senator and our state representative, and they're very supportive of that, of our problem. And if need be, they would sit in and have a discussion with TxDOT to request their support. But that hadn't happened yet. When I talked to the judge, his thought was, we've got equipment here, where the commissioners have all this equipment. And when it's drying up and time up, he thought the county could handle this problem. But it's a big problem and a lot of dirt has to be moved. And disposed of. A lot of dumping, but you guys have dump trucks, you know, and you got great alls and you have a certain amount of equipment. So the county judge, his idea was, let's see if the county commissioner can handle this problem. And it may require TxDOT too, to make sure this thing is done on grade, because it's grades all water all the way in front of that whole subdivision, that shopping center all the way down the creek. So it has to be done properly on grade. And it is a pretty complex problem. So I think I gave you all pictures of it. You saw both sides of the bridge. You saw exactly what the water is doing. I just wanted you guys to have pictures of it to see how bad this really is. And it may happen this week. We don't know.
I hope it does. Not for you,
Yeah,
but for the masters.
It helps them. That much rain to fill up the lakes, and it's gonna fill up our building too. So, it's a serious problem. Next stuff may help us some. And if push comes to shove, they may go even do the job. We're not sure. They've done it in the past.
No, TxDOT will not be involved.
I think this is a prime example of what I was talking about earlier. Now we got the state, the city, and the county. We can't get along. We pass the buck, pass the blame. It's pretty simple. We got the equipment. Somebody just needs to go fix it. They just don't want to do it because it's not their problem. Exactly what I'm talking about earlier with the city, the county, and the state. They all want to blame each other. They don't want to get along. And it's a pretty simple problem to fix.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that TxDOT tried to fix that in front of the bank. All that concrete that was poured in there, I don't know if that was TxDOT or private.
Well,
Do you remember? It's all concreted down through there.
well, further down.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Rocks down.
yeah, I'm just, but they also concreted it.
The
And I was looking at it yesterday and it's actually washing out.
Yeah.
That's the amount of water that's coming through there because it's never been slowed down anywhere. So
I don't know if TxDOT did it or someone else, but the property owners paid for it to have it done.
So it's basically like a great all could not get in there. It ain't, the only thing that might could get in there that would have be a skid steer. It'd have to probably be August. Or you could take an extender hoe, like a track hoe off that bridge, and you could probably get the silt out on both sides of the bridge. Temporarily to help relieve some of the pressure of the water going up towards your building. But right now, I don't have anything in my yard that I could get in there and do any work with.
Is it the, is it,
Drives, yeah.
are the culverts stopped up at the drainage culverts?
Yeah, the bridge is stopped up too, under the bridge.
Under the bridge?
So, they tell me you could walk over that bridge at one time. Now
It's 5 foot. It's 5 foot of buildup under it. If it ever dries out enough where you get in it, you can take your skid steer and go up under that. You could clean them out. But you're talking about probably 200, 300 yards of dirt. It's very doable. It just has to, it's very doable. It just has to be dry for us to be able to get in there and work.
very dry.
And somebody's got to do it. Quit pointing fingers.
No, we can do it.
No.
If I have to rent a machine, we can get it done.
For July or August.
Yes, sir.
If it doesn't rain, then maybe this summer, if it doesn't rain.
If the court-
You have to drive some.
If the court will allow us to do it, we'll do it. I mean,
Pitched together.
Yeah.
But it's, It's gonna take the right equipment, it's gonna take to remove all that dirt. On both sides of the bridge and, under the bridge. And, once that's done, the next rain will probably wash all that stuff on down. Right now, it's just piling up, and it's a lake back there.
It's like everything else in the county. It's like everything else. It hasn't been maintained. So there probably should be every couple of years, we go in there and grade that a little bit.
Since I've been involved in it, it's been almost 14 years. It's just gotten worse.
Yeah.
You know, you're right. If you get it done right, that's the time you maintain.
Yeah.
It is not being maintained. And right now it's beyond maintaining without what's kind of a lot of work. You know, once it's done, we can, we can mow it, we can keep it draining, keep the trash out and do that. But right now, you know.
Mr. Hilliard, which way does this water flow? Does it go,
It's
it
coming
go this way or
No,
go this way?
that way.
It goes this way?
north, goes north
Okay.
or north.
So,
Oh,
if that's the
make the
case-
turn and then guys, go way down by 243.
Okay.
so if that's the case, the way the pictures look, it's not gonna be the problem just here on this end by the pizza place. It's gonna be the other bridges too. That whole ditch is gonna have to be cleaned out all the way down past the bank to that.
Did you
creek.
go look at it?
No, but I'm looking at that right there and I see.
So down there where it comes in by Applebee's,
Mhm.
it's beginning to build up right there. The whole thing's gonna have to be
That's
cleaned
what I'm
out.
saying. It's not gonna be a fact of just
It'll be
doing behind
300 or
the
400
building.
yards of dirt, maybe 1,000 yards. I don't know.
It's gonna be more like 1,000, I bet you, but
Whatever.
cleaning this bridge out right here by the pizza place is not gonna fix the problem.
No, you gotta clean them all out.
You gotta clean them all the way down to that creek.
So
So
who's got this right of way right here? This is gonna be a state right of way, isn't it?
Sure.
This is a state right of way, correct?
It's 243. Yes.
Yeah, but that ditch, the way that map shows that ditch, the property owners own it up to that.
Well, that's ridiculous.
well, so
It's dirt.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
yeah, I mean.
It's dirt, a truck and a
I
tractor.
just didn't want
So,
y'all
I
to
got-
think it was gonna be as simple because
I
looking
went out
at
there.
these pictures and all.
I was out there yesterday.
What I'll do is if the court agrees that we want to tackle this project, I will get with TxDOT and find out what their recommendation is and who's gonna, cleaning out those other ditches. And all the way through, I'll get with, City of Canton, see if they have any, skin in the game. And I will, actually, I'll try to get with the property owners of the mall and the, I think it's Marshall's, the Pizza Hut, and see if they're willing to participate in, the process. Yeah, I just need direction. Do we want to move forward with it?
We're gonna have to move forward. We have to.
If that has to be cleaned out all the way back towards Walmart there. We can't just clean out behind their building without doing that
Yeah,
other two.
okay, well, that's what I will get with TxDOT and find out, you know, what
The
they're,
county owns this, right?
Right.
well, I don't know if we do or not.
Because what I'm getting at is
Technically, that was
we don't wanna
TxDOT
do
property.
work for personal people, because we know how that goes, but this is ours. So if we're doing work here, we're actually doing it for us.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is then down, well, I see where you're coming from, yeah.
Yeah, because
But not, and we're not doing it on our property.
Right, it's not on our property.
If you want to
See
get the
that
water, if you want to get the water off the building, you have to take it all the way down to where they put the concrete in.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
That's not a problem. I mean,
No, it's simple.
Yeah.
Is this
I mean,
somebody gonna do it?
That turn, it goes east. From there, it's on good grade and it drains all the way down.
were you saying before that the county had stated that we would maintain that in an agreement? In the original agreement? Yeah. Do you, Tony, have a copy of that original agreement there? No? If we can get a copy of that to him, I think that'd be helpful.
And who's the agreement with?
Yeah,
That'd be great.
Who's the agreement
We got,
with?
actually, the city found it.
Good.
They found it, gave us, said they had nothing to do, no responsibility.
Yeah.
But
Agreement was signed by Judge Coaches.
Okay.
Okay.
And who's the agreement with?
That's more of a legal thing. It's hard for me to understand. It's about 8 pages.
Okay.
And it appears to
Most
be,
likely it'd be with TxDOT.
generally, it appears to be that tech shop
Right.
and.
Yeah, I think that'll be helpful. That'll be the justification for which we could use our people to go in there and do the work. So that's helpful.
You know, I think TxDOT has some skin in the game with that though.
Well, we're gonna find out. We'll find out exactly what.
I'll give you a copy also.
I mean, you wanna talk about survey lines, you know, I got a survey here done, and here's a ratio, and it's probably over here, they say this is my.
That'll be helpful.
But you got.
Very helpful.
And, so we just need help. And,
Okay.
and, to preserve the building and preserve the memorial.
All right.
And by the way, all of you guys are invited Monday. Even if it's raining, we're gonna have a Memorial Day, at 10 o'clock at the memorial. If it's raining, we'll have it on the pavilion. It won't be that big of a crowd. If it's not raining, we'll have a larger crowd. We have an excellent speaker there, and we have a special event where a lady that's a Gold Star mother, her son was killed in Afghanistan in 2011. She's going to be giving a presentation at our ceremony. Her and her family will be there. And it's a special event for their family. And it's a special event. Memorial Day is a special event for all of us.
Is it 10 a.m.?
We'd love for you to come.
10 a.m.
It's at 10 o'clock. Need to get here a little early. We got plenty of parking down by the pizza place and next to that. And, it's a 50% chance right now, rain. That means 50% is not going to rain. So we'll wait and see. It's a little early on the weather forecast. But
All right.
we certainly appreciate your time today about this problem. It's one that can be solved. We're just not sure how yet, but I know tech stuff could probably be helpful to us on getting this done right. And when I was commissioner, we had no trouble getting rid of dirt. Every farmer wanted dirt, so you will have, they'll be useful. And they're filling in property and building houses around here, so anyway.
All right. Thank you very much, Kerry. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All right. We'll now move on to item number 19, workshop to discuss the current procedures for use of county credit cards. And this came about, we've had situations where our credit cards have been declined due to exceeding the credit limit. And I sat down and talked with Kenny yesterday, and I think we've come up with a plan. Do you want to talk about it, Kenny, or you want me to tell about it? Or?
I'll just, a couple times we did, for example, I think it was last week, it got declined, but we made the payment on time. The day we made the payment, someone tried to use it. And it got declined, because I told them, I said, well, we made the payment today, but it takes a day for it to close. So that was one incident, and it happened again like in February. So occasionally the card gets declined. Now we have several credit cards. And now mine, I have one in my office and most of the people in the courthouse. And I keep a running total on mine, so I can kind of give you an idea when someone needs to use a credit card, I can say, well, we're almost to the end of the limit, because the transaction days goes through the 12th. At the end of the 12th every month is when it cuts off. And that's when they bill us for what has been charged up to then. But in the meantime, that card is still going. So and on my card, the one that was declined the other day, we have a $9,000 limit. And very seldom does that happen, but it just so happened the last day of the month, they used it. If it had waited till the next day, everything would be fine. So that's kind of how this all come about. So I had discussed with the judge, and I discussed with Judge Martin as well about my proposal is to, like I said, I think we have 10 cards, is to get a couple more credit cards, take some of the burden off of mine. A lot of people use mine, but there's several departments that have them. So I'm gonna my plan is to get a couple more cards issued to different departments. And I'm gonna go back and on my limit, I'm going to increase the limit. It was at 6 and I increased it to 9 here about 2, 3 months ago. I thought that would solve it. Well, it almost did. So I'm going to increase my limit just a little bit and try to add 2 more cards to 2 more departments. And I think that should solve it. And that's just my thought on the issue. I don't know what y'all have, what you think.
Did you say we have 10 credit cards?
Yes.
That's what we have?
And I think I told the judges, we also have 5 Walmart cards recently that I got reinstated. We used to have a program in Walmart, but back in October of last year, that went away. They did away with that. But then they come up with a new program. Well, back then we had several Walmart. So the new program, you can only have 5. So I had to take those 5 and try to figure out who's going to be shooting the Walmart cards the most. So that kind of helps a little bit also. We just got that reinstated probably 2 months ago or something like that. So it got declined, or I say my card is the one that got declined because I have a lot of people using my card. So it doesn't happen that much, but we're just trying to keep from that happening. You know, sometimes people go training and they get down there, your card gets declined. Or, you know, or they need it for this and that. But like I said, on my card, I keep up with it. But sometimes people use my card, if they've got the number, and they don't turn in receipts. See that, if I don't know they spent $500, they didn't tell me. And they don't call me and check out the card, they just use the number that I didn't know they used it. And so sometimes my running total is not accurate because everybody didn't turn in them. It doesn't happen at all.
Sounds like we need a resolution that nobody uses a credit card without your personal, your pre-approval, your authorization and your knowledge of what that amount should be.
Well, that's normally what we're supposed to do.
Well,
But I can't control everybody. You know, if they have the number, you know, used to in the old days, and I'm not gonna get used to the old days, we only had one card way back there.
well,
Everybody had to come to the treasurer's office to get that card to check it out.
Yeah.
Well, as time goes on, times have changed. I get it. No one wants to come to my office to get the card.
But you know what hasn't changed is the need for us to be transparent to the people and let them know what money's being spent and why. And so I think that, you know, if your card's being used and you don't know it, I think somebody needs to receive at least a reprimand.
Like I said,
I don't know all the circumstances. I don't know all the circumstances. Maybe there's a good reason for that, but I mean, to me, as a business owner, if somebody's using my card and I don't know about it in advance so that I can keep track of it, that's a problem.
that's what I have a sign out sheet.
Yeah.
Fine. They're supposed to sign it out. When they come bring it back, they sign it out and I write down how much they spent. That's what I try to do. But it don't always work that way.
Well, and the other issue we have is getting receipts back.
Yeah. Receipts.
That is what it takes so long to get the credit card bill reconciled.
Right.
It's not
That's the
having
other
the
thing.
receipt.
Most of the time we're right down to the wire because you're trying to get receipts from everybody. Cause I get the bill, but it takes 4 or 5 days. I mean, there's a lot of charges on there on those 10 cards and I'm trying to verify everything on there that it is ours, that it's not fraud. There's that.
Yeah.
That has happened.
I appreciate that.
Occasionally. Someone puts the $500 on, it's not ours. Well, we're not gonna pay for it if we can't justify or verify that's how.
Would it be helpful if the commissioner's court, issued a directive that these receipts need to be turned in, within 24 hours of that?
Like I said, and let me say this while you're talking about it. I showed this to the judge. This was a form that we come up with Sheriff's Department a few years ago. And the Sheriff's Department was real good about turning these in. What this is, it's not a receipt, but when you sit there and place an order with credit cards, you fill this out. I'm Kenny Edwards. This is what I purchased. This is the date I purchased it. This is who I purchased it from. This is how much I spent. It's got it all right there. So at least you got this if you don't have a receipt. You're not checking 5 days to check down and try to figure out who spent what where. It happens. That's just, and it's a chore to get that bill, everything collected and paid on time. We're kind of trying to verify every charge that's on there. It's pretty good. People are pretty good, but you always have some that we're trying to track down. It's like that bill, I paid it. It was due on the 7th. I paid it on the 7th. But it took that long to get all the receipts together and verify everything on this.
Is there, and there's something, is there like a mobile app that you can download or take a picture of your receipt and submits it, to your office, or?
I'm sure it probably is, I'm sure.
I know my wife's company does that, and they just, she takes a picture and then sends it to their accountant or whatever, right?
And like I said, for the most part, most people do that, but there's still some that don't. They get on the phone and they don't want to fill things out, or they order what they want, they hang up the phone and they go about their business, and they forget what they just ordered, and they forget, sometimes receipts get lost, I get it.
I don't know who your liaison is, but if you'll let your liaison know on the commissioner's court, a conversation needs to be had between the person that's using that card and we're not keeping, and they're not turning it in.
I can do that.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Kenny, for working on that. All right, item number 20, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Sorry. Does anybody want to second Bobby's motion? Bobby made the motion.
Second.
I want to stay around.
All right. All right, motion is made, second, all those in favor say aye. Motion passes, we're adjourned at 10:55.
I can't believe that you're having problems with the credit card, honestly. He has it.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. You have my cell phone number down.
He's got to tell us that it's ours. I said, we need to know that ditch is ours and our obligation. That's why I said. Because if it's not our obligation, then we incur potential liability.
Yes, sir.
It's not our building.
That was.
100 days?
Yeah, I'm talking about all. Needs to be verified. If we can verify that. It's on our policy.
All right, take care. Yes, sir. I don't remember who the presentation was. That's right, yeah.
Yes, sir.
You bet.
Well, that'll be great.